Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
High fly ball, deep right field. Smith is back. He's out of room. It's out of here. And it's 2-0 Cleveland. Jose Ramirez does it again. His second consecutive game with a home run against Houston. And this one gives the Guardians an early lead. Rocchio rocks it to deep right field. Goodbye. An absolute blast by Brian Rocchio. The Guardians' second home run of the night against Hunter Brown, and they've hung more runs on Brown than any team in baseball this year.
It's a high drive, way out into right field. It is off the bricks. This game is tied. Bailey's on the move. Bailey's on the move. And this game is over. Driven to right field. Arise sends one deep, far, and very gone. Padres take a 1-0 lead.
Freeland, right center. Hit well. Pages back and out of here. Insurance for the Brewers on number 7 for Sal.
To right field, struck well. Tatis going back at the wall. He leaps, and he makes the catch in right. Fernando brings it down.
And there you have it. A lot of highlights last night. Lots going on in Major League Baseball. And another Guardians win. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. We are streaming live all over the world at AM 1310, WDPN.com. We're also available for you to watch, available for you to listen on the WDPN Facebook page, the WDPN X page, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Like, share, follow, comment, and let us know what's going on in your world today, as we are glad to be along with you on this Wednesday afternoon. Wow, what a day it has been today. Busy day at the old radio ranch. We had our department head meeting this morning, and we had our high school football meeting this morning. And then I tried to order a pizza over the phone. I'm not going to mention where. Jeez Louise, shouldn't be that difficult. And then I got double charged on top of it for something I didn't even want. And so it goes. So I'm loading up on the water. That's going to be the theme of the afternoon. So welcome in. Phone lines are open. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. You always can text us at 330-924-7088. Ryan Rainsberg over on that side, Sam Bourquin on this side of the glass, as we come to you from the beautiful Carnation City of Alliance, Ohio on Smith Avenue, and ready to roll on this Wednesday afternoon. We got our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. On this day in sports history, we'll have a little fun here with you as we get ready for the final 2 days of the week that will be here before you absolutely know it. So how about the Guards? You heard the highlights in the open today. 10 runs last night for the good guys. 10! With the win now, they're 42-48. Jose goes deep. Rocchio goes deep. Angel Martinez with the game-winning grand slam last night in the top of the 10th inning. And the Guardians beat the Astros by the score of 10-6. Hey, don't look now. Don't look now. They're 5.5 games out of the last wildcard spot in the American League, trailing Boston, Texas, Kansas City, the Angels, and Minnesota. I know, still really far-fetched to get there. But somehow some way, they have found an offense here the last couple of days. I don't know how they've done it. I figured, 10-game losing streak, then having to go to Houston, which is never an easy place to play, playing a team that's red hot, and you go in there and you smoke them 2 nights in a row. You had a chance for a sweep tonight. Oh, Sal. I think it was a bad night for our boy Sal last night with the -1.5 on the run line. That was not good. We'll get him back tonight, bud. That's how we do it here. So, yeah, where's this offense coming from? Hosey, we expect it. Rocchio, no. Angel Martinez, heck no. But they put a 10 spot up on the board last night. They'll do it again tonight, a little bit after 8 o'clock down in Houston. I got to admit, I was surprised. I didn't even know what the score was. I left here last night. I got home about 7:15, ran up to the store, got some gas for the mower, came back, mowed the yard, and I tell you what, man, have you noticed getting darker a little bit earlier now? Like, no longer can you stay out there and be doing mowing and yard work until like 9:30. It's over with now. And I was looking up at the sky, I wonder if I'm going to even have enough time to get done. So I rushed it through. We got her done. And I looked at the clock, and it was like it wasn't even 9 o'clock yet. The sun was starting to come down a little bit. So by the time I got in the house and got it cleaned up and this and that and the other, I saw it was 6-6. And then I went back and I read some reports, and I saw that we had a couple of leads, let them get away. And then I saw Martinez hit the grand slam there at the top of the 10th inning. Then the Guardians wrapped it up in the bottom half. And I was like, well, okay. All right, 2 in a row. Here we go. Little momentum. And for some reason, they took the Stephen Vogt press conference down off their site today. Had that all ready to go for you. It's about 2.5 minutes. Little Q&A with the media after the game. They took it down. So we don't have it. Why would you do that after a win? I can see after a loss, but why would you take your manager's press conference down after a win against the Houston Astros like that? But it is what it is. Also, baseball history was made last night in San Francisco, and I know it was hard to decipher the play-by-play that we ran the audio. There was a walk-off grand slam inside the park last night in San Francisco. Let me make sure that I get this right. I don't want to give you the wrong information here. All right, Frisco beat the Phillies last night with a long fly ball. This is how they wrote it. A long fly ball, a bad bounce, and catcher's legs. So this is what happened last night. 1 out, runners at the corners, bottom of the ninth. Giants catcher Pat Bailey. Okay, it was a 3-run. It was a walk-off 3-run inside the park home run, and the Giants win last night by the score of 4-3. Crazy play. The ball looked like it was going over the fence, but it hit the top of the wall. And if you're not familiar with right center field dimensions at Oriole Park, where San Francisco plays, it gets real goofy out there. Nooks and crannies and corners and walls and turns, and you don't know where the ball's going to go if it hits at a certain place. So the play ended up being a walk-off inside the park home run, a 3-runner for the win. And Dwayne Kuiper, former Indian back in the 70s, he has been the play-by-play voice of the San Francisco Giants for a long, long time. And I think he's one of the best in the business, and he does the TV games. So he was on the call last night when Bailey hits that walk-off 3-run inside the park home run. Kuip couldn't make it through, and I don't know if you're able to hear that or not. We'll play it for you here in a little bit. He couldn't get through the call because he was, honest to God, I think he was laughing at what was going on, and then he started to cough, and then he couldn't stop. So He is laughing / coughing / doing play-by-play of a game-winning inside the park home run, a 3-run home run for the win. He couldn't get to the finish line. It took me a couple of times. I had to play it through. I played it a couple of times last night. I'm like, what is going on with Kuiper? So I went back and I listened to it again. But the crowd is so loud that they overtook him a little bit. So I went back today and listened to it for like a third or fourth time. And I'm like, by God, he is laughing and coughing and trying to do play-by-play all at the same time. And he couldn't finish the deal. And by the time Bailey had come around and hit home plate and was getting mobbed by his teammates, the place is going crazy. Streamers are coming down, the light show. And he was finally able to spit out, and the game is over. We'll try to pull it up for you on its own out of the open maybe a little bit later today. But it was, now that I go back and I listen to it, and now I understand what happened, it's kind of funny. And if you're a person who's done play-by-play before, I mean, yeah, you get excited. And then when something goofy happens like it did in the park lot in San Francisco with the ball, and the outfielders are going, what the? And they're chasing after this ball. Meanwhile, Giants are circling the bases. The place is going insane. They win the game, and Kuiper was laughing, crying, coughing, you name it. But that was bizarre. But I don't think we've ever had a 3-run inside the park walk-off home run in baseball history, at least according to the article that I read. So that was pretty wild last night. That was wild. Cooper Flagg and Bronny James are getting ready to light it up in Las Vegas. We'll talk about that as well. For a summer league game, courtside seats are going for over $3,000. Folks, it's NBA Summer League in Vegas. Courtside seats are going for over $3,000. We'll talk about that. WNBA All-Star Game is coming up Saturday. They drafted their teams yesterday. Starters, reserves. And Caitlin Clark said, nah, I don't want Angel Reese on my team. And she passed right over. We'll get into that as well. On this day in sports history, plus our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day, which is, we took a little U-turn. We went away from sports for our poll question today. Would you rather work 7 to 4, 4 days a week, or would you rather work 8 to 3, 5 days a week? Which weekly shift would you rather work? Would you rather work 7 a to 4 p, but only 4 days a week? Or would you rather do the regular 5 days a week at 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.? You can take the quiz at AM 1310 WDP on X or Twitter. You can also do it on Facebook, and you can leave your comments on the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Now, I want you to think about this for a little bit. And right away, people go, 4 days. It's all day, all week. Would you rather work 7 to 4, which is a 9-hour shift, and do it 4 days a week? Or would you rather work 8 to 3, which is 7 hours, and go 5 days a week? And remember, the 8 to 3 shift is only 7 hours. And you get to go in an hour later. And you're still getting out at 3 o'clock. What would you rather work? 7 to 4, 4 days a week, or 8 to 3, 5 days a week? I want you to think about that, and then let us know at 821-1310, or you can drop us a comment on our text line at 330-924-7088. Now, this really doesn't work in radio. So this is for everybody pretty much outside of this business. So I got to ask you, Mr. Rainsburg, what's your deal? Would you rather work 7 to 4, 4 days a week, or 8 to 3, 5 days a week?
Oh, it's 4 days a week, all day.
4 days a
way
week for
better.
you.
Yeah, 3 day weekend every week.
True.
No, I got to think about that.
True. So you'd rather work 7A to 4P and do it 4 days a week?
Oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of a morning person anyway, so 7 a.m., it doesn't make a difference.
All right. Well, there's our first vote in-house.
Yeah.
Rainsburg going 7 to 4.
Hey, all day.
I'm back and forth on this because I'm a night owl. I like to sleep in a little bit. I don't really mind 5. Of course, you get seasonal in this business. You're working 6 days a week anyway.
Yep.
Sometimes you're working 7. So what difference does it really make?
Football season is busy season.
Yeah.
We basically just get like 2 or 3 months a year where we don't work a ton of hours, and then football season comes around and it's back on the grind.
Yeah, it's blank to the walls, and here we go. But still, 8 to 3? I think I'd still go with the 5 days. Like, I don't have to go into work till 8, and I'm done at 3. That's not bad. What do you think? 330-821-1310. What shift would you like to work? That and a whole lot more coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay tuned. Stay with us. Hang around. 1310 WDPN.
Looking to beautify your home with all the colors of the season? DeHoff's Flowers Greenhouse and Landscaping has 32,000 square feet of greenhouses filled with blooming and beautiful flats of annuals and perennials. So you'll find everything you can imagine and more. Their hanging baskets are overflowing with splendor, plus they have a huge selection of all your favorite hardy vegetable plants. In DeHoff's nursery, you'll find thousands of trees and shrubs on 1.5 acres. And right now, the rhododendrons are blooming beautifully in lush and novel colors. The vibrant blooms of the easy-to-maintain knockout roses will knock you out. DeHoff's decorative bird baths, statues, and pottery will add the perfect accent to your landscape. Just a mile south of State Street on the corner of Beach and Beechwood is a wonderland of color. That's DeHoff's Flowers, Greenhouse, and Landscaping in Alliance.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. Got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
AM 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin. So shout out to Al in Akron hooking us up with the vote press conference. Honest to God, I recorded it, or I shared it with Rainsburg last night, and it was gone. I'm like, why would they take that down? You just beat the Astros 10-6. Come on. But we found it. We got it. We'll run a little bit of it. It's only like 2.5 minutes. Hey, it's been a long time since the Indians since they've won 2 games in a row. Got to celebrate those hard. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day: work week schedule. What works for you? What do you like best? Would you rather work 4 days a week, 7A to 4P, or would you like to go 5 days a week from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m.? Let us know on all the social media platforms. Brian says, I would take 7 to 4 days a week. Mike says, people actually get to start work at 7 or 8? Tommy says, assuming the same pay, 7 to 4 Monday through Thursday, 4 days a week. Dan says, hey, I'd rather go 8 to 3, 5 days a week. Doug in the PTO says 7 to 4 was his original shift at the grocery store he worked at for 4 years. 7 to 4. Tom says, I'd rather be retired. It's a perfect life. George says, neither. Both shifts are less than 40 hours a week. In this day and age, you need at least 40 hours a week to take care of business. Good point, George. Eric says 7 to 4, 4 days a week, all day. Mary Jane says 7 to 4, 4 days a week would be awesome. She says she works 4. I don't understand this one. It says I work 4-2-5 days a week. Does she mean 4 to 2? Would that be right? 4 a.m. to... Oh, that's a long shift. I work 4 to... Oh, I'm sorry. It just says I work 4 to 5 days. Okay, she just didn't put the regular spelling of the word 2 in there. Okay, Mary Jane, I got you. Joseph says, Sam, I'll go ahead and stick with retirement if that's okay. All right. Neil says 7 to 4, 4 days a week. Melanie says 7 to 4 if possible with schools. Oh, Melanie, you just opened up a brand new box right there. Moms and dads and kids, would you rather go 7 to 4, 4 days a week for school? 4-day school week? Some places do it. It's interesting. All right, we got the news, we got the weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Stick around. We're just getting cranked up here on a Wednesday afternoon. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM 1310, WDPN.com.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 3:30. 173 people are still missing and at least 110 people have died after devastating flooding that occurred over the holiday weekend in Texas. It's leading to more questions about the warning systems that were in place and whether officials were even vigilant about warning people. This area of Texas along the Guadalupe River is known as Flash Flood Alley, and the summer camp where dozens of girls and staff died, Camp Mystic, was right in the flood zone. This as stories of survival are coming out, like one from Lindsay Roberson, who says she was holding onto a tree as the waters and various pieces of debris came right for her.
It wasn't a matter of how could you swim and where you wanted to go. It was a matter of the current and the rush. It was just terrifying. Like there were roofs, there were cars, there were boats, trailers, all these things just rushing down the river.
Officials say monsoon rains in southern New Mexico triggered flash flooding that killed 3 people and was so intense an entire home was swept downstream in a mountain village that is a popular summer retreat. The village of Ruidoso said in a statement that a man, a 4-year-old girl, and 7-year-old boy were swept away Tuesday by floodwaters. 3 people earlier had been reported missing. It wasn't immediately clear early today whether those were the same 3 who died. The water in Ruidoso had receded by Tuesday night, and search and rescue and swift water rescue teams were searching the town for the missing people. Another large aerial attack overnight by Russia on Ukraine. ABC's Patrick Revel has the latest from the foreign desk.
Ukrainian authorities say this is a record-breaking attack by Russia, launching well over 700 drones and missiles across Ukraine. This is actually the 3rd time in the last 10 days that we've seen Russia launch a record-breaking attack. This time, President Zelensky has said that Ukraine was able to bring down the vast majority of the drones.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has met with Pope Leo XIV and thanked him for the Vatican's efforts to help return children taken by Russia during the war. Both he and Leo suggested the Vatican could host peace talks to end the war. Longtime Red Bull team principal Christian Horner has been fired after a 20-year stint that included 8 Formula One drivers' titles. Red Bull did not give a reason for the decision in a statement today, but thanked Horner for his work and said he will forever remain an important part of our team history. Laurent McKees of sister team Racing Bulls will replace Horner. It's 82 degrees and Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears. Mostly cloudy skies this afternoon with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 83. The threat of showers and thunderstorms continues into the overnight hours. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low of 65. Thursday, partly sunny skies with a lingering threat of showers and thunderstorms during the late morning and early afternoon, a high of 84. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
ugh, come on.
Seriously? This is so extra.
But what you could say is,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Get someone who can actually help. Contact State Farm agent Rich Plack today.
Looking for something fun to do this summer? Come out to Copeland Oaks for our annual Classic Cruise-In on Sunday, July 27th. Gates open at 10 a.m. with registration until 1. Enjoy free food, music, and lots of fun. Join us Sunday afternoon, July 27th for the Cruise-In on the Copeland Oaks Retirement Campus, just off Route 62 near Sebring. $5 registration for classic vehicles. All proceeds benefiting a local charity. Dash plaques and trophies will be awarded for classic cars. Copeland Oaks, family fun.
AM 1310 WDPN, Sam Bourquin Show on a Wednesday. 330-821-1310. You can text the show anytime at 330-924-7088. You can listen to us on the stream at am1310wdpn.com, on the DPN X page, Facebook page, and the Q92 radio page on YouTube. And I believe you can get us on Alexa. Pretty sure. Try it out. Alexa, play AM 1310 WDPN. Pretty sure you can do that. Matter of fact, I know you can. I've done it at home. I did it at home. Wasn't that long ago. Matter of fact, I was switching back and forth between 1310 WDPN and Q92. I was just going back and forth on my Alexa.
Oh, see, I replied to that guy. I don't own an Alexa, so I was completely unsure. So I'm glad you knew what was going on.
I'm almost pretty sure that's how I did it.
Okay.
Now, excuse me. That might have went through. What is it called? Not auto tune. What do they call that? Alexa. Oh, tune in radio.
Okay.
That's what it is. But I think if you say Alexa play, I think it'll give it to you through there. But give it a shot. I'm pretty sure that will work for you. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. Which work shift is your favorite? What would you like to do for your job, your work hours, and how many days a week do you want to do it? Here's your choices. You can work 7A to 4P, 4 days a week, or you can work 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., 5 days a week. Most people right now are saying 7 to 4, a couple of 8 to 3s. Got a few that say, I don't have to worry about it. I'm retired. We don't retire in radio. We just pass away. Neil says 7 to 4, 4 days a week. Laura, 4-day week, 7 to 4. Yes, exclamation point, times 3. Jennifer says, Sam, we went to 4 10-hour shifts about a year ago, and it's somehow much better than 5 8-hour shifts. Now, would you be interested in doing 4 10s a week?
I'd be cool with that.
Would you rather do 4 10-hour shifts or 5? That's a little different than what I put out there. So you are getting your 40 hours a week. You know what? Let me ask a question. Let me ask a really. Who made up the 40-hour work week rule? Where did was that government? Where did that come? They sure as hell don't work 40 hours a week. Who said that this was the way that we're going to do it?
I don't.
I want answers.
I want to say it was Henry Ford, but I'm thinking he just invented the modern factory schedule as it is. I'm not sure if that implemented the 40-hour work week.
Does anybody know who implemented and who started the mandate that we work 40 hours a week? Where did that come from? I mean, hell, they wrote songs about it. Dolly Parton wrote a song about it, working 9 to 5. Where did that come from? I'm being serious because I don't know. I just want to know where that came from. Who said, okay, this is how it's going to be, everybody? You're going to work 40 hours a week. That's how we're going to do this. And it can be, it can be 8 to 4. It can be 4 to midnight, midnight to 8, whatever it is. If you're a day shift, overnight, mornings. But where did it start that it was like mandatory 40-hour work week? It had to start somewhere because at some point people started saying, hey, if I'm going over 40 a week, you need to pay me more, as in time and a half, overtime pay. Does anybody have any information there at all? I know somebody will text it, they will comment, they will call in with it. But who started that whole 40-hour a week stuff?
Okay, so the Wikipedia page is pretty in depth. I'm not going to read a whole book to get to this, but it looks like, at least in America, Henry Ford with the Ford Motor Company is what got it started in America. Right. I thought that was correct.
And what year was this?
1914.
1914?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because he invented the modern factory format. The what do you call it? The system of. Oh, now I remembered this, but I'm misremembering the name of the actual factory floor system. That's going to bother me.
All right, so 1914, it all started 40 hours a week, and it's because Henry Ford. And that's because of the factory work concept.
Yeah,
he figured, okay, 8-hour shifts. That was going to work.
He scaled it back from 48 hours a week.
Oh,
so
okay. Interesting.
We're doing better.
Okay. Well, let's revisit this and let's get her down to 32. Who's all for a 32-hour work week but getting paid for 40? Who's in on that action? I'll take that. I'll take that for 200, Alex. Tim says 7 to 4, Sammy, no doubt about it. Lori says, yep, I'll go 7A to 4P, 4 days a week. Todd says 36 hours a week versus 35. What kind of a job is that? Candace says, I don't think God created us to work. I don't think God created us to be workhorses. I would much rather work 4 10s or 3 12s. I work 8 to 4:30 5 days a week, and I take work home with me lots of times. I can't wait to just retire and spend more time with my family. Okay, Candace. I'm with you. Oh, my wife worked 3 12s for about 3 years. She was in the dental hygienist. And the place where she was at, they worked them 3 12-hour shifts. She loved it. And you think about it, it was full-time benefits, and you were only working 36 hours a week. And you got 3 days to work, and you were off for 4. Now, she would routinely come home and swear up and down about, how hard the day was, and 3 12-hour shifts and usually no breaks. So, I certainly appreciated that. I don't know if... Boy, that's 3 days a week, man. That is awfully tempting. But 12-hour shifts, I don't know. Denise says, Sam, 7 to 4 for me. Jim, 7A to 4P, 4 days a week. I will take that anytime. Yeah, I'd forgotten about the 3 12s. A lot of people doing that. I guess I've kind of done that before. a little bit. Although they really weren't 3-day weeks. Some were 4 days and 5. It was just like busy season, doing different stuff, doing different things. And then maybe keeping a little side job too. So you're kind of like at the end of the week, that's pretty much all you did was work. But yeah, that's interesting. I've always, and then I think it was Denise brought up, there are some schools now that go 4 days. They go 4 days a week. They'll go Monday through Thursday. Then the kids and the teachers and everybody are off on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I often wondered if that was going to be like a big thing that was gonna carry on and just get bigger and be in different schools, different school districts, different states. And pretty soon, I wondered if that would be like the overwhelming majority of people would want to do that, and that's where we would end up. Now I don't know. I just don't think that's feasible. I think for schools, you got your 5 days, and don't forget, kids are not only going to school, they're going to practice, they're going to games, they're going to club activities, they're doing extracurriculars, and you're trying to have a life. That's the glory time in your life. You're trying to make friends, hang out with different people, get to know different people, learn different things about different people. And I think the 5-day school week, I think that's spot on. Although there are some schools that they'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And they're done. Now those might be, charter schools. Those might be schools that don't have athletic programs, schools that just do things differently. But I wondered when they first started talking about it, if that was going to be something that caught on. It's caught on at some places, not at others. I don't see our schools doing that. And when I say our schools, like in the Eastern Buckeye Conference, the Federal League, the schools like that. Well, we got 20 school districts. I don't see anybody doing that, but I will say that I probably would see that some charter schools doing it. I don't think the parochials would ever go down that route. I don't think. I just think the 5 days a week lends itself to the whole high school immersion, the whole high school experience for everybody. That includes players, students, guys, girls, teachers, administrators, coaches, even people that come and volunteer their time and do stuff. Say you're going to volunteer at the cafeteria for a couple of hours, or you're going to go volunteer to watch the kids out on the playground. I think the 5-day a week thing works. And some schools have gone a little, different with the times. And I mean like time on the clock. To me, I think it's kind of silly. Some of our schools start. I'm telling you, the bell rings and your butt better be in the seat with your books, your computer, whatever, at 7:05 a.m. To me, I think that's a little ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous the kids have to start class at 7 a.m. So what time are they getting up? 5:30? 5:45? 6 if you're going to push it. Depending if you can drive yourself to school, you have to wait on a bus, you have to get a ride. Some can walk. And I'm sure there's kids that if they got the 7 a.m. bell and they live close, they're rolling out of the rack at 6:30, throwing on something on the floor, putting in a piece of chewing gum, a couple of slurps of water, and they're out the door.
Hey,
there's no shower going on. There's no new clothes being put on, wiping the crap out of your eyes.
Look, high school boys are dirty.
Yeah, I mean,
we all were there one day.
Yeah, especially the guys.
God, yeah.
The girls, at least, makeup, they did their hair.
No, it's the total opposite. They're up 3 hours early.
Guys didn't care. But
No.
even like the poor girls, you're getting up at 5:30 in the morning. He's all, Sam, they're kids, 5:30. Hey, man, that's a long day. I don't care who you are. It just, the class should never start at 7 a.m. I'm sorry. And you know what? Class doesn't need to end at like 2. It just doesn't. There's nothing wrong with 8 to 3 or 8:15 to 3:15.
So
I think Jackson, I know Glen Oak, at least those are 2 that like your first class is like 7:05, 7:10 at the latest. And kids are getting up well before 6 a.m. And then you're going to class. And then, like I said, if you're doing extracurriculars, you're going to go to practice right after that. Then you got to do homework. You got weightlifting. You've got other stuff going on. You try to have a little social life. And then what time is it? 10, 11? Guess what? That alarm's going to go off before you know it. And you haven't even gone to bed yet. Now, maybe kids approach it differently now. Maybe they're just so used to it that it's not a big deal. When I was at school at Central Catholic, we started at 8:30. We had to be in our homeroom by 8:15, and then they, took attendance, or you got your book bag together, whatever. Studied last minute for a test. That was me. And we got to class at 8:30, and we were done at 3. And we were able to get to our athletic practice by 3:30, whatever sport we were playing, whatever was in season. And we practiced till, whatever. And then we stayed after and lifted, or we didn't lift that day, or we ran, or we just, we got to ride home. But this starting school at, 7 a.m. and, I don't know. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Rainsburg, what time did you go to school?
Oh, it was definitely early because the sun was never up.
Ugh.
So I want to say like 7:30.
Really?
Yeah. Which I think for high school kids, 7:30. For high school kids, that makes sense. Those are the last 4 years of school before you enter the real world. And a lot of like everyday jobs are going to want you there at like 7 a.m. So might as well start learning that early when you're like 16.
8 to 4.
Yeah.
Look, I get it, and this comes from a night owl, so I probably have a little different look at it. But I've also worked later too.
Yeah,
that's why I've always got into some sometimes very loud discussions with folks over my lifetime. And they'll say, "Well, you're not getting up." I say, "What time do I get home? What time does my work day end?" I thought so. You're already in bed. I don't want to hear it. I've had a lot of arguments with people like that. Just because I'm not punching the clock at 6:30 a.m. it doesn't mean I'm not putting in a full hard day's work.
Oh, yeah,
probably working more hours than you. Not you, but you who I'm arguing with.
Yeah, those people kill me.
Yeah.
Their job's always harder than yours, no matter
it's always harder.
No matter how many hours you work or what you do, they always have the tougher job.
Right. They're up at 4:45 and they got the blender with this goofy milkshake, and they're getting their vitamins in for the day, and
they have a candy bar for lunch.
Right.
They can't stop working.
Right. They're in their shower, they're on their cell phone. That crowd. Come on. We can all get enough work done over a certain amount of days and hours during the week. It doesn't have to be crazy. We make it that way. But that's interesting about the Henry Ford thing. What did you say, 1914?
Yeah, I did a little bit more research, and the history of that goes back a lot farther. But it's been like that since Henry Ford set it up in this country in 1915. So.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a little nugget that I did not know, and I'm glad I listened today.
I watch a lot of boring documentaries.
That's all right. That's where we get our information.
Our fun facts.
Man. My Y guy, the gambler guy, says, Sammy, some nurses do 12 Saturday and 12 and a half on Sunday, double time. That's rough.
But I have the utmost
Especially
respect
at
for
the hospital.
nurses.
Oh, man.
They work the craziest hours on the planet.
They do.
They are just beat into the dirt.
And you never know. Every day is a different day.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of our jobs are different every day, but there's like a routine to it. Not with nurses, not with the emergency room, not with, you never know, like firefighters and police and stuff you never know. Every day is every half hour block is a different block of your life. It's crazy. And our hats off to those folks. All right, we got to take a break. 3:54 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
Shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
You couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at mda75.org.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. We're going to be talking with Sam Amico from Hoopswire. Looks like tomorrow at either 3:35 or 4:10. Just texting Sammy here during the break, and we're going to talk to him about NBA free agency. We're going to talk about LeBron James. He's been posting some interesting stories about LeBron and the relationship with the Lakers and how it's appeared to be soured just a little bit. And we'll talk a little NBA Summer League with Sam as well. So I'm leaning toward maybe 4:10 tomorrow, but we'll have that for sure sometime later today. So Sam Amico from Hoopswire going to be joining us tomorrow. Also tomorrow, hey, it's our favorite day of the week. Well, I don't know. Friday's actually our favorite day of the week, but I would say 3-Question Thursday is right there behind it. We got that tomorrow and a whole lot more here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 3 until 6, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Real quick, I want to thank Jeff on YouTube for commenting to remind me that it's the assembly line that he invented.
Exactly.
Which I did remember during the break, but I appreciate you for commenting to let me know.
Thank you,
That
Jeff.
would have bothered me.
We appreciate that. See, that's what I love about our listeners and our viewers. You throw a question out there, you throw a comment, like an open-ended, like you're waiting for a response, and somehow somebody out there has an answer for you. And we appreciate it. I think our listening audience is better than Wikipedia itself. I think it's better than Google, because you're going to find out right now from people that are listening to you and interacting with you, and they more times than not have the right answer. So we appreciate that. No doubt about it. What was I going to tell you? Oh, on this day in sports history today, and I'm going to give you a little tease as we go to the break here at the top of the hour. I'm going to give you the year, 1997. Boxing. That's all I'm going to tell you. One of the more bizarre happenings in the history of sports happened on this day in 1997. All right? Think about that for a minute. You might figure out what it is. But if not, stay tuned. We'll have that for you on this day in sports history coming up at around 5:25 this afternoon. All right, news and weather is ready to go. 1 hour in, 2 more big hours yet here on the Sam Bourquin program. It's AM 1310 WDPN, and we're streaming live, baby. AM 1310 WDPN.com.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Texas high country, at least 118 are now confirmed dead from the catastrophic July 4th floods. Another 170 are still missing. Stories of survival also emerging, from summer camps to an RV park where Julia Hatfield was staying with her husband. She says they had enough warning to get into their car and drive to high ground.
My husband had stayed awake. The rain was coming down really hard, and so he was making sure we didn't have any leaks in our RV. And he started to hear screaming. And he looked out and saw that the lower level of the park that's about 4 feet lower than us. The RVs were already had water up to the doors.
President Trump signaled that Israel and Hamas are getting closer to finalizing a possible Gaza ceasefire deal. A sticking point remains of Hamas's demand for Israel to fully withdraw from Gaza. 2 years after Elon Musk hired Linda Yaccarino as CEO for X, she announced she's leaving the platform. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
What's the best place to shop this summer? Macy's. It's our first ever Star Deals Week. 6 full days of store-wide savings on everything you want. From shorts and swim to fine jewelry, all up to 50% off. Plus, home updates from Hotel Collection, Green Pan, and more, up to 60% off. Not only that, shop Macy's.com for new flash deals every day that everyone will love. No membership required. So don't miss Star Deals Week and Sunday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced price.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 4:02. A man is dead after an accident at an industrial facility in Perry Township. It happened Monday night around 8:30 at Canton Drop Forge on Southway Street Southwest. The Stark County Coroner's Office says 37-year-old Daniel Chavez of Canton was struck by an object during work hours. He was taken to Mercy Hospital, where he died a short time later. An autopsy will be performed by the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner. The incident is under investigation by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Investigators are trying to determine the cause of a fire that damaged the former Schumacher lumber facility in Hartville this morning. Around 6 a.m., firefighters responded to reports of smoke in the area of Lincoln and Mill Streets southeast. Crews put out the blaze, which reportedly was contained to a small area. There were no reports of injuries. A damage estimate was not available. An 11-year-old Canton boy will be sentenced October 6th for making threats that forced authorities to temporarily close the Stark library system. He pleaded the juvenile equivalent of guilty to charges of swatting and inducing panic Tuesday in Stark County Family Court. 2 counts of swatting were dismissed as part of a plea agreement. Canton police said someone called the crisis line April 8th, saying they had shot someone inside the library on Market Avenue North. About 30 minutes later, a second call to the hotline reported a bomb in the building. Police evacuated the library the previous day after a report report of a man with a gun may have been inside the facility. A search turned up nothing each time. Stormy weather does a number on Alliance City Cemetery. The thunderstorm that moved through the area Monday afternoon downed at least 5 large trees and damaged multiple headstones and a mausoleum at the West Vine Street location. City officials say crews were cleaning up the cemetery Tuesday. A contractor will be brought in to repair damage to the mausoleum. The cemetery entrances were temporarily closed. The Dog Warden Division of the Stark County Sheriff's Office is receiving national recognition for saving dogs. It was named by the Best Friends Animal Society as a shelter that saved more than 90% of its canines last year. It earned the designation as a no-kill shelter. The actual save rate was 98%. Dog Warden Division has a small staff consisting of 1 sergeant and 2 deputies and 2 full-time and 3 part-time canine technicians. Sheriff Eric Weisburn says they work together to care for dogs in a facility that was designed for about 60, but often houses more. He also credits partners including Friends of the Stark Pound, Stark County Humane Society, Alter Clinic, and Hope Bridge RTA. Salem residents won't be asked anytime soon to vote on a proposal to allow a marijuana dispensary in the city. Council decided Tuesday there are too many questions about such an issue that need to be answered before lawmakers could decide to place it on the ballot. The resolution was introduced by Councilman Ron Zellers last month. At the time, it was referred to the Committee of the Whole for study. According to the Salem News, Law Director Brooke Zellers says state law allows City Council to put the dispensary issue before voters, but due to how recently marijuana was legalized in Ohio, no municipality has done so. Salem also has a moratorium on permits for dispensaries. The Ohio Supreme Court has denied an appeal of a woman serving prison time for escaping from the Eastern Ohio Correctional Center in Lisbon. The decision concerns 39-year-old Ashley Crowley of Youngstown. The 7th District Court previously ruled Columbiana County Common Pleas Court Judge Scott Washam miscalculated the maximum sentence. Crowley was given 8 years. She was sentenced in February after pleading guilty to escape, theft, felonious assault, and other charges. Crowley escaped in August 2023 and stole a car at a nearby pizza shop. She ran over the foot of the vehicle's owner during the theft. Crowley was rescheduled for resentencing August 1st. An Austintown man who pleaded guilty to child pornography charges will spend 3 years in prison. 73-year-old Robert Casey was sentenced Tuesday by Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Scott Kriechbaum. He pleaded guilty in May to 5 counts of pandering obscenity involving a minor. 10 other counts were dropped. Investigators executed a search warrant at Casey's home and found over 2,000 images and nearly 100 videos of child sex abuse material. Prosecutors say he uploaded such files and traded them with others and had done so since the 1990s. Casey was secretly indicted in March by a grand jury. Youngstown police say a man was shot Monday night after answering a knock at his door. Officers were called to a Randolph Street address on the city's west side around 11:30. The victim had just gotten out of the shower when he was shot in the leg. He was taken to St. Elizabeth Health Center, where the man reportedly refused to answer police questions. Officers found a shell casing near the home's front door. The incident is under investigation. Weathersfield Township Police are investigating a shooting that put a 16-year-old girl in the hospital Tuesday morning. Around 4 a.m., officers were called to the Brentwood Manor Trailer Park on Judith Street Southeast. The girl was found inside a mobile home. She was taken to a local hospital where she is in critical but stable condition. A 16-year-old boy was arrested and transported to the Trumbull County Juvenile Justice Center. A visiting judge has denied a motion asking that former Niles Mayor Ralph Infante be released from prison early. The motion for judicial release was rejected by retired Summit County Judge Patricia Cosgrove. Infante filed the request in Trumbull County Common Pleas Court in February. Cosgrove granted a motion from the state allowing for his pension funds to pay for the cost of his prosecution. Infante is serving a 10-year prison sentence. He was found guilty in May 2018 of 22 charges, including tampering with records, gambling, and engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity. It's 82 degrees and Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
For the remainder of your Wednesday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high around 83. Keep the umbrella handy overnight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low near 65. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, yet another chance for showers and thunderstorms during the midday hours, a high of 84. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
High fly ball, deep right field. Smith is back. He's out of room. It's out of here. And it's 2-0 Cleveland. Jose Ramirez does it again, his second consecutive game with a home run against Houston. And this one gives the Guardians an early lead. Rocchio rocks it to deep right field. Goodbye! An absolute blast by Brian Rocchio. The Guardians' second home run of the night against Hunter Brown, and they've hung more runs on Brown than any team in baseball this year.
It's a high drive. Way out into right field. It is off the bricks. This game is tied. Bailey's on the move. Bailey's on the move. And this game is over.
Driven to right field. Arise sends one deep, far, and very gone. Padres take a 1-0 lead.
Frelick, right center. Hit well. Pages back and out of here. It's Schertz for the Brewers on number 7 for Sal.
To right field, struck well. Tatis going back at the wall. He leaps, and he makes the catch in right. Fernando brings it down.
All right, crazy stuff going on in baseball last night. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, the Wednesday edition, right here on AM 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com. Welcome in. Hope your day is going well as we come to you from the Palatial Palace here on Smith Avenue in Alliance, Ohio. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Tomorrow is a 3-question Thursday edition of the show. Sam Amico from HoopsWire is going to join us tomorrow as well. And who knows who may pop up on the show. Don't forget, though, join us Monday through Friday, 3 until 6, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. By the way, 43 days until high school football kicks off. 43 days. Join us all season long. AM 1310 WDPN, FM Q92, stream AM 1310 WDPN, Q92radiosports.com. We've got you covered. As a matter of fact, I wrote this down. Here it is. We are going, this is just the regular season. This is the regular season. We are going to have live coverage of 73 high school football games. 73 in the regular season between radio and stream. And don't forget, like, say, high school football on 1310 WDPN this year. And we got some cool stuff going on there. Can't really tell you yet, but we got some really, really neat stuff coming your way. But as you can listen to our show as many different ways as humanly possible, you're going to be able to listen to our high school football games that way too. You'll be able to listen to our broadcast on 1310 on our Facebook page, on the YouTube page. You're going to listen any way that is good for you. We'll be there. But just think about that. We're going to have live play-by-play coverage of 73 high school football games, and that's just in the regular season. So I'm sure we will go well over 100. And we're looking forward to it. Countdown to kickoff begins. We're at 43 days until the opener. So keep that in mind. Put that on your spreadsheet, your worksheet, maybe a little reminder on your refrigerator.
For me, it's like a reminder, like knowing I'm gonna die soon. So it's like I have to get all the fun stuff in now before I have no free time in the next.
Death is near for you.
Winter is coming, and we need to prepare.
Oh my God, it's fun though. It's since I got into radio in 1990, it's just, for the most part, except for a couple of years, that's what my life has been. It's been just crazy from Hall of Fame all the way until like the middle of March. And then it calms down a little. Obviously, not as many games and not as many sports. But then you truly learn to appreciate that quote-unquote downtime, even though you're still working 5 days a week. It's kind of like a downtime for those of us who broadcast shows, also do play-by-play of games, social media, all those kind of things. You kind of really enjoy, say, the high school baseball season ends the middle of June. And, we've been lucky to have, like this year, we had a lot of teams that were able to make it to district championships, to regional championships. We had a couple teams made it to the state tournament. So you figure once that's over, it's June 15th. So that gives you a window of June 15th, July 15th, August. It gives you about 5 weeks. Because once the Hall of Fame gets rolling, you know that the high school football is right around the corner. And then college football, NFL. So we get about 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks of quote unquote not so busy time. But that's when you try to get your vacations in. You just try to get little weekend getaways in, get your house in order, get the yard work done. If you're going to do some remodeling, you get that done inside the house. And then that it's go time. That once Hall of Fame is here and it comes to an end, and that's usually the first week in August, high school football has already started as far as practice, 2-a-days, what have you. And then the scrimmages start. And then, the games are going to start by about the 21st or 22nd. And then it's like, okay, family, we'll see you in the end of March. Because you got football, rolls it right into hoops. And then, things kind of calm down a little bit. But that's just kind of how we've been programmed. And I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about if you've worked in the radio business or the TV, the newspaper, whatever.
Yeah, I just tell all my friends that I'll be busy Friday night for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
After August.
And you for Saturday afternoons, too.
Yeah, for Mount.
Because you'll be producing the Mount games again for us this year. So, yeah, it's it comes at you quick. But you know what? Once you get in the routine, you're like, you're just ready.
Yeah, it's just football season.
You're ready. It's like, okay, this is one of the great reasons, this is why I do what I do. This is why we do what we do. And the hours are crazy, and sometimes the workload is crazy, and there just seems to be some days that are like, but you love it. You love it. You put 110% in, and you go. And you get great response. So that's one of the cool things about it, too, is people let you know, hey, man, you're doing a nice job. Doing a good job. Heard you doing the game. Loved your show the other day. Hey, I appreciate what you said about our kids. The so-and-so district loves when you guys come out to do a game. That's not necessary or needed, but it helps you feel good, and it kind of gets you through some of those days where you think, oh, the end is nowhere near. And that's kind of like that's why we do what we do. So we're excited. What is today? July 9th?
It is July 9th.
July 9th. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're getting close. Hall of Fame.
Pretty much 2 months, give or take.
So we're getting ready for it today. We're pounding out some stuff, talking to some people, and getting the I's dotted, the T's crossed, all that stuff. A lot of stuff coming up here, man. You got the Carnation Festival coming up here soon. You got the Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival coming up here soon. It's coming. It'll be here, but it's fun. It's fun.
That's it for me. Once the Carnation Day parade happens, I know there's not much time left.
Now that usually falls
like first, second week of August, I think.
So is it right after the Hall of Fame?
I'm not sure exactly when the Hall of Fame parameter, what time.
Because the Carnation is usually like it's pretty much a set date.
Yeah, it's like a whole
year.
week here where they have different events, and then the Carnation Queen and all that stuff.
Okay, because I know they have a parade and they have festivals and they have
the parade
food things, and
the parade's like the bookend of everything. The parade closes out the whole event for the year.
Very good.
So
a lot of stuff coming up. We are certainly looking forward to that. Phones are open, by the way, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Check us out at AM 1310 WDPN. You can follow me as well at Sam Bourquin 16 on X, on TikTok, on Instagram at Sam Bourquin 16. So give me a follow, and we'll roll from there. The poll question today has to do with the work week. Would you rather work 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. 4 days a week, or would you rather work 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. 5 days a week? Let us know on our social media platforms. Again, you can call in at 330-821-1310. Denise says, Sammy, 7 to 4, Monday through Thursday, works for me. Jim says 7 to 4, 4 days a week. Wally says 8 to 3, 5 days a week. Love the show. Thank you, Wally. Sarah says 7 to 4, 4 days a week. My guy, Rocky, he says, I'll go C, Alex, 3 until 6, 5 days a week. What's that, your happy hour schedule? That's usually happy hour, what, 3 to 6? 2 to 6?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the days of happy hour. I never understood that whole thing until I did.
Well,
and I thought, wow, this is okay. Now I get it. Happy hour.
See, when I grew up,
I like it.
Like, it was so expensive to go to the bar. We just, if you went to the bar, you were usually drunk by the time you got to the bar. Because the drinks are so expensive, it's just easier to drink before you go to the bar.
Oh, yeah. There he goes. There's Rainsburg. Yeah, get all hammered and then get in the car and drive to the bar and just keep it going.
Look, I didn't say 21-year-old me was intelligent. I just said how we rolled.
Wow. Yeah, I know that's kind of how it works.
21-year-olds are not intelligent people.
We used to call it pre-gaming.
Pre-gaming, yes.
Yep. And a lot of times, the pre-game was better than the actual game.
Half the time, you only pre-gamed. You never made it to the game.
Unless it went to overtime. Then things got a little interesting. John says, Sammy, having worked both, I actually like 5 8-hour shifts. I'm not as tired after working 8 hours. I was pretty worn out after working 10-hour days. I'm probably in the minority. It's also better for keeping doctor appointments as well. Yes, I would agree with that, John.
That is a good point. A lot of things close at 5. So that gives you an extra hour to...
Or they don't even open.
Yeah, exactly.
How about some of the doctor's offices? Open Monday, 7 to 4, closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, open Friday, 8 to noon, closed Saturday, closed Sunday. Like, come on. I know you earned that, but, could you make it maybe a little more feasible for your patients to get a hold of you? Just an idea. Shout out to John Tombo, by the way, the pride of Tuslaw High School. John was a heck of a pitcher back in his day for the Tuslaw Mustangs. I believe he played for Frank Gamble, who obviously went on to coach at Perry, and Frank's sons at Sandy Valley and Jackson. And Tuslaw had a pretty good baseball program back then. And John was a really good pitcher. I believe he wore number 3. Well, how about that for a memory? If I'm right. But I think JT wore number 3. Good dude. Appreciate him listening to the show and commenting as well. Go back to the Guardians here for a minute, and we're going to be hearing from Stephen Vogt on the other side of our news break here at 4:30. Have the Guardians sucked you back in at all with these last 2 wins against Houston, the way the offense is broken out, the way that they've blown leads and they've come back to win both these games? Now, look, as I've said the last several weeks, you're not going to catch Detroit. You're 15.5 out. But you were 7 games out of the wild card the other day. Now you're 5.5. You get a little momentum build up. Have they pulled you back in? Are you walking around quoting Dumb and Dumber? So you're saying there's a chance. What if they sweep the Astros tonight? And what if a couple of teams flounder in front of them? And now they're 4.5 out of the wild card. And guess who's coming up next? The Chicago White Sox, who are a nice, nifty 30-62 on the year. And let's just say that they sweep the White Sox. That would give them 6 wins in a row. Probably chopped into that wild card a little bit. Again, I'm not concerned about Detroit. I'm concerned about wild card. And now if you're the front office, do you start having a couple extra meetings at night thinking about, maybe we're not quite out of this just yet? Let's maybe think about going and getting a bat or 2. And then we're going to get a couple more pitchers back. I think Trevor Stephan is coming back here pretty soon. Beebs could be coming back in August. Look, I don't know what kind of shape he's going to be in. He's had a setback, but who knows? Maybe that arm is nice and rested. He could give you some great innings. And then maybe you think about bringing up a Kefas or a DeLauder. Add them to the mix. Now maybe you think you've got a little something going on right here. Is 2 in a row a win streak? I guess if you go back and watch Major League, the answer is no. 3 would be a winning streak. But the last 2 nights, with the way they've hit the ball, have they kind of pulled you back in a little bit? What do you think? How are you feeling about the Guards right now? And better yet, where in heaven's name has this offense come from? First of all, where did it come from, and where in the hell has it been? That's my 2 questions. Where did this offense come from, and where has it been? Why all of a sudden did you decide to explode when you played the Houston Astros? I don't get it. I don't understand this team. They drive me insane. Can't hit the ball. You're getting shut out 3 out of every 7 games. 2 hits, 3 hits. Leaving guys on base. Can't get a bunt down. Balls going between the catcher's legs. Guys getting picked off. Dropping pop-ups in the infield. And now you go to Houston, who was 20 games over 500 when you got there. And you beat them Monday, and you beat them up last night. You get a chance to sweep the series tonight. But again, you're still 42-48. Is this just what you are? Will we go on like a 6-game heater? And then we'll drop 3 out of the next 4. Is that what we are? That's kind of what they have shown us to be this year's edition of the Cleveland Guardians at 42-48. 2-8 in their last 10. Guards now on the road are 22-25. They're under 500 at Progressive Field too, surprisingly at 20-23. Have the Guardians relit your fandom fire, at least for today? You're going to give them a little extra look-see tonight. You're going to check in maybe a little bit more frequently than the last couple nights. Hey, they got a chance to get a sweep tonight. Let's go. 3 in a row. It's a win streak. Give them the heater, Ricky. That's a winning streak. What do you think? News and weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. On the other side, we will check in with the voter, Stephen Vogt, the skipper of the Cleveland Guardians. Will give us a couple of minutes about last night's win over Houston, and we'll look ahead to Game 3. And we'll talk a little Las Vegas Summer League basketball. Normally, that would never come up. But did you see what they are getting for courtside seats for the game between the Lakers and the Mavericks? Bronny James versus Cooper Flagg, and what people are paying to sit courtside for a Summer League game. It will blow your mind. All that and more coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310. We'll be back.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The search is continuing for 173 people believed to be missing in Texas, days after a destructive wall of water killed at least 110 people. But questions remain about the extent of the catastrophe that stretched far past the borders of a single summer camp. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says many of those who are not accounted for were staying in the state's hill country but did not register at a camp or hotel. He says search crews will not stop working until everyone is located. Abbott says the missing are believed to be in Kerr County. That's where most of the victims have been recovered. At least 3 people were killed overnight in New Mexico as flash flooding gripped the area, swallowing entire homes and putting dozens at risk. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z has more.
The Rio Ruidoso River sweeping homes off their foundations. The river rising a record 20 feet in 30 minutes Tuesday. There were at least 85 water rescues as the search for the missing continues. A family swept into the raging floodwaters. The parents were found safe, but a 5-year-old and her 7-year-old brother did not survive.
Officials say a union representing thousands of city workers in Philadelphia and the city have reached a deal to end a more than week-long strike that halted residential curbside trash pickup and affected other services. Word of the tentative agreement came early today. On what would have been the 9th day of the strike, nearly 10,000 blue-collar employees from District Council 33 of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees walked off the job July 1st, seeking better pay and benefits after failing to agree with the city on a new contract. District Council 33 is the largest of 4 major unions representing city workers. Its membership includes 911 dispatchers, trash collectors, water department workers, and many others. Ukrainian officials say Russia fired more than 700 attack and decoy drones at Ukraine overnight. That tops previous nightly barrages for the 3rd time in 2 weeks. It's part of Moscow's intensifying aerial and ground assault in the 3-year war. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says the city of Lutsk near the border with Poland was the hardest hit. Meanwhile, President Trump is expressing his growing frustrations with Russian President Vladimir Putin. ABC's Rachel Scott has more.
Trump, who has long praised the Russian leader, now suggesting he's standing in the way of a peace deal. But as Russia was escalating its attacks, the Pentagon suddenly paused some weapons shipments, raising questions about where America stands. The president seated next to his own defense secretary, Pete Hegseth, saying he's not sure who ordered that weapons pause.
It's 81 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high near 83. Can't rule out the possibility of showers and thunderstorms overnight, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low of 65. A mix of sun and clouds Thursday with a chance of showers and thunderstorms during the late morning and early afternoon hours, a high of 84. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
America, our military is sacrificing for our freedom. Please take time to remember our men and women fighting overseas. This salute is courtesy of Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, serving our community with dependability and excellence. For all of your residential and light commercial remodeling needs, call the professionals at 330-763-0089. 330-763-0089. That's Diamond in the Rough Property Solutions, reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to our brave.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Oh, good song right here. Just talking to Rainsburg during the break. National French Fry Day's coming up here in a couple of days. He about lost his mind. Oh, that's right. National. Does everything have a day now, by the way?
I just assume every day is some sort of holiday.
Like I used to have a saying at one of the stations I used to work at. Everything gets a day. Everybody wants a wow. That makes sense? Like everything gets a day. It's National Blah, Blah, Blah Day. It's National this day. It's National Be Kind to a Moth Day. It's like everything has a day.
Consumerism at its finest.
Right.
Buddy.
And then my point about everybody wants a wow. Everybody wants their 5 minutes in the sun. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants an attaboy for anything. Everybody wants a wow. Might bring that back. Everything once a day. Everybody wants a wow. It's a true story. Absolute true story. So where are you going to get your fries, Rainsburg? I'm a fry guy. I'm very picky about my fries.
Man.
Where are you going?
I'm not super picky about fries, but I do love a lot of fries. I like the natural cut fries that have a little bit of the skin on the back of them, and they're fried really greasy and salty.
Yep.
I think
the worse for you, the better they are.
I'm thinking similar to the ones at in Maslin, the
Cameo.
Yes, the Cameo.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. Their fries always stick out in my mind. It's pretty good.
Shout out to the Heinzers.
Yeah, those are
what
classic.
An operation they're running over there.
Classic natural cut French fries.
Woo. My son and I were there early in the summer.
It was my grandma's favorite place. She grew up in Maslin.
Yeah, we just stopped there on the way back. We were at the Elms golfing. We stopped there on the way back, and man, I used to go there all the time. When I broke into the radio business over in Maslin decades ago, I bet I went to Cameo once a week.
Oh, if you live in Maslin, you're going to end up at Cameo at some point.
Oh yeah,
it's Maslin.
Can't beat it. You just can't beat Cameo. The Cameo Grill. Oh my God, it's so good. Yeah, National French Fry Day coming up. Like if I took a poll of 100 people, everybody's first would be the Golden Arches. That's just what they would say. But I think you got to go a little deeper than that. I like a lot of the other places. I think maybe even a little bit better. And of course, you're gonna pay through the nose because everything has to go up. Got to pay for those bonuses for the suits. We got to pay for that. But like Five Guys, love their fries.
Oh yeah, and they'll give you a pound of them too.
They should. For $10, they should give you a pound. Who's the ones? Not Quiznos. What's the one sub place?
Oh, Mr. Hero.
No. It's they got about 5 or 6 locations around here, but they got really good subs. Their fries they're fresh cut. I can't remember the name of it. I always want to say Quiznos, but Quiznos has been out of business for a long time.
Oh yeah, a very long time. The Firehouse?
No, not the Firehouse.
Jersey Mike. Jersey Mike's doesn't have fries.
They got a location on Tusk. They've got one out in Belden. This is going to drive me insane. I knew I should have looked it up. But yeah, they're really good. Haggie's has really good fries. They put the pat of butter on those and just salt them to death. Oh man, they're so good. Yeah, a lot of places around here have really good fries. Look, A-Town Burgers had great fries. Not anymore.
Oh, but they had tater tots too.
The tater tots.
You could get them extra crispy.
They were really good.
Can't get tater tots anywhere.
No, there's Swenson's has good tots.
Tater tots, very divisive side dish.
Yeah,
you either love them or you hate them.
You can do a lot with them too.
Yeah,
you can do a lot with them.
Nobody's just okay about tater tots.
This is going to drive me up the wall. What is the place I'm talking about that has the really good fries? It's a sub place, and they do cheesesteak. They do all kind of different stuff. Not a crazy menu, just kind of basic. And you go in there, and they've got like the hot pepper rings are still in the jar, sitting on the. What place is that? They got the big industrial size cans of mayo. Like everything's just like made right there. Their lemonade is really good. Gosh, somebody help me. I'm too lazy to Google it. I'll have to do it during the break. But they're really, really good. Little on the pricey side, but they're really good. All right. Guardians are going for the sweep tonight. That's right. I just said it. The Guardians are going for the sweep against the Astros tonight. Cleveland 42-48 against Houston 55-37. First pitch a little bit after 8 o'clock tonight down in Houston. Does anybody have the guts to bet on the Guardians tonight to win against Houston and get the sweep against the Astros? And then it's off to the Windy City. What do you say? Who's in on the Guardians tonight? Before we get to the phone, Sammy, I've heard through a grapevine, listen to me, I'm drunk on fries. I've heard through the podcast grapevine that Michigan cheating scandal penalty phase is over, and next week the penalties will be revealed. If I hear anything more, I will let you know. Tomas, appreciate you. Let's go to the phones, 330-821-1310. You're on the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon. Who's this?
Hey, this is Jim in Akron. How you doing?
Hey, Jimmy. What's up?
Hey, are you talking about Penn Station?
Yes! My God! Yes!
It took me a minute, too, but...
I couldn't spit it out. Thank you.
Yeah, because like I say, yes, they do a real good steaks, and, like you say, man, their fries are wonderful. They do the fresh cut, and there's... You know who does? I always thought did a pretty good fresh cut fry, too, and I know there's... The restaurant's mostly up my way up here in Akron, but I know there's one, I believe, on Portage Street, Rockney's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got one. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a fresh cut fry too that are pretty good. And then, like you said, there's so many good. And I've told friends before, it's like there's so many good. If you know whether it's like you say down your way in Stark County, and there's some my way up here too. That the little mom and pop local neighborhood, basically the neighborhood bars that do food.
Yep. And that's actually, that's where I would rather go, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I got nothing against the chains, but, if it's worth it to me to maybe go a little bit out of my way and support the local folks. And, you may pay a little bit more, but you're keeping that money around the area, and the stuff is fantastic.
Yes. Well, and to me, when you go to so many of the chains anymore, depending on where you're talking about, they're not cheap anymore either.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're a lot of their so-called dollar menu might as well be a $5
dollar menu. Yeah, right. Who are they kidding?
Well, no, well, exactly. I used to work with a guy that used to talk about going to the Golden Arch, and he'd tell me he'd want to go in and get a sandwich. Excuse me, a sandwich off the dollar menu, and then gripe about it being small.
Right. What did you expect? What did you think you were going to get for $1?
Exactly. You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for.
If you want a full sandwich, you pay full price. And like you say, so many of these, like you say, the little neighborhood joints that do food, you can tell as soon as you take the first bite, whether it's a hamburger or whatever it is, that they get their meat from like a meat market.
Yes.
Somewhere that's, and yes, like you say, by the time you pay for the other stuff, and that stuff is horrible in most cases. So it's like you might as well go wherever you're a little different. And even like you said, if you drive even out of the way, sometimes there's places I'll go that I've been to. There's a couple places that, like I say, down in Stark County there that I'll go to for breakfast every once in a while that are just fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Like breakfast to me used to be, I never used to be breakfast guy. Like I was the kid that went to school and I said, give me a Snickers bar and a can of Dr. Pepper. That was my breakfast.
Yeah.
And I would swallow that down before I walked into the room. But now, I've learned to appreciate, and you're growing up. Your parents will say, "Hey, let's go check this place out. I like it. Let's see if you like it." And you go check it out, and you go, "Man, this is really good." And it becomes like a little tradition, a little place that you tend to visit more than you normally would. I love going to the local mom and pop places for breakfast when I have the opportunity. I love it. I really do.
Oh yeah. No, and like I say, I've got one here actually close to me, a little mom and pop joint that's been around for a long time, and I mean it's just a greasy little spoon. I mean it's just not more than about 8 or 10 tables, and it's not. But I mean, you drive by there in the mornings in the place, even during the week.
Yeah.
Let alone, and you don't dare try to do Saturday or Sunday. Forget it. You'll never get.
Oh no, I will tell you when I worked up in Akron. In the studios, the studios I worked at were on West Market, in Fairlawn, almost in Fairlawn, and there was a place called the Eye Opener that I would go to for. Oh my gosh!
Yes,
I went there 4 days a week. I bet, and I always got this. I always got the same thing. I always got the same thing. I always got the eggs Benedict every day, and it was so good. It was so good.
Well, it's funny you say that because there used to be, and this is where you can get in a whole other issue too, with places that are no longer around that were known for, because in fact there was a place almost right across the street from the Eye Opener that's been gone for years. It was a deli. It was called Lou & High's.
Lou & High's. Yep. I remember that.
And I never got to get there to eat, but they always said the sandwiches were great. And like I said, it's been gone for years, but and cheesecake was just to die for, and the whole bit.
Oh yeah.
But even like, that when a lot of the pro bowlers or pro golfers back in the day used to come to town, or business people from out of town, that's where they go to eat.
Yep. You got that right. There was another place, it was called, and I think it's gone now. It was also on West Market. It was Larry's Main Entrance.
Yeah.
And I think it's gone now, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to love going there too.
But, like I say, and it was just, little places, like you say, when that otherwise, whether it's maybe around where you work at or different places that, especially when you're, like I say, I know when I was a kid, I remember so many places I never got to go to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Jimmy.
Okay,
Thanks for calling,
I'll
bud.
get out of here and let you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Penn Station. Thank you, Jimmy. That was going to drive me insane. But yeah, the mom, and I know I'm going off on a little tangent here, but I don't care though, it's local. I love the mom and pop places. And we were talking about, National French Fry Days coming up here in a couple of days. And then Jimmy called about, the breakfast places. And I think about all the local mom and pop breakfast places that I've gone to over the years and still try to get to, as much as I can. I usually get there more during the fall because, I take our son to school a couple days a week, and then I'll try to grab something before I head over this way. But there's nothing like the neighborhood places, the mom and pop places. And again, you may pay an extra buck or two. It's worth it. It's good for the economy. You can tell there's more care involved. It's almost like they're preparing it just for you, even though they could be busy. But you got the local people working there. You got the local people running it. They're paying their rent. They're paying the taxes. It's not an easy gig. I was in the restaurant business on a very small level, is like a very, very small owner, but mostly just managing. And I've worked at some of the chains as like an assistant a long time ago. Such a big difference though, working for the local people. And it's all word of mouth. You're not buying humongous advertising campaigns and putting up billboards and stuff like that. It was word of mouth. Hey, I heard about so-and-so's got a great, let's go down there and check it out. Or, hey, we're going to meet there for lunch. Gather somebody and let's go. We'll meet up. There's nothing like it. Like over here in Alliance, I love, Lee Foster turned me on to this place. The neighborhood. This is one of the best hamburgers I've ever had in my life. Over on State Street. A little place. Love the neighborhood. I got to get over to Chives here pretty soon. There's something about that place. Just, I don't know. I love it. And we talked about Paul and Ori's a couple times. I've been there after work for dinner. But yeah, you know what? Give me a couple local mom and pop breakfast places.
Don Poncho's in town. I don't know if they still do it because they changed ownership. I think they do, but they had a breakfast buffet that they would have on weekends.
Really?
That was incredible. Just all you can eat. Bacon, eggs, pancakes. Don Poncho's. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Their breakfast goes pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm turning into more of a breakfast guy. I guess that means I'm getting older. I don't know. But give me some mom and pop places to check out. Especially over here, this way, Alliance area, maybe off 62. In Canton, John's Bar used to be a go-to for me. I still love going to. They got a couple places around town. Samantha's, love going there. There's a place on Main and North, the Crow's Nest. Love going there. There's some really cool places. And sometimes the darker, the dingier, the better it is. The better it tastes, the better it is. What do you say? Who's got some out there for us? 330-821-1310. You can text them in at 330-924-7088. We've got the news coming up here in about 8 minutes. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll check back in on the Guards and the Astros, and I'll tell you all about LeBron James' son, Bronny, and Cooper Flagg. Going to go after it in the Summer League in Vegas. Courtside seats are going for over. I'll tell you about it when we get back. Stay with us.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Get on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly. Get on board.
Get on board. One more time.
Sam Bourquin Show back with you on AM 1310 WDPN. Something else I just forgot. I forgot the name of this group. I know it's right there.
This is Daft Punk.
Daft Punk. That's right. Unbelievable.
The original electronic group.
Might be time for me to go take a memory test somewhere.
You just need to develop better memory exercises. That sentence came out very dumb sounding.
How do I do that at my age? Like,
so what I do to help my terrible memory.
Is there a pill I could take that help my memory that's really going to help, or it's just not going to take my money?
For me, what helps is creating patterns in my day-to-day life. Like, okay. I always put my keys in the same place, or try to. I try my best. Just, designate places for things and try to always keep those things there. Which I know what I'm saying is difficult.
Yeah, it is.
But you got to form that habit, and then be like, well, I might not know for sure where my keys are, but I know where I always put them, so that's where I start.
So at least you got that out of the way.
Exactly.
You know where point A is supposed to be.
It's like, okay, well, I didn't put them on the table like I always do, so which pants did I leave them in, or which coat did I leave them in?
I just am having so many issues. Remember, just little, real simple things. Like, how many times when I'm at work here, I will take my Buckeye thermos back to our water cooler and I'll fill it up. I will get distracted and there's nobody else back there. And I will turn around and I'll walk away. I'll go back to my desk and I'll sit down. I'll regather, get all my stuff, and I'm looking around for my thermos. I'll leave it there. It's just the little things like that. Forgetting to grab the keys off the hook to go get the car started in the morning. Going in one room with a shirt that I was going to hang up, and I'll bring it back downstairs again to the kitchen. Why do I do stuff like that? There has to be a way to solve that problem, but I don't know what it is. All right, if you want to go see the Las Vegas Summer League matchup Thursday, and who doesn't, between Cooper Flagg and Bronny James, it's going to be at the Thomas and Mack Center, where UNLV plays, and that's where they have the majority of these NBA Summer League games. So tomorrow night, the Mavericks and the Lakers play Summer League. Obviously, we all know who Bronny James is, the son of LeBron James, and the number 1 overall pick, Cooper Flagg, who's got drafted by Dallas. He comes out of Duke. According to Vivid Seats, average ticket prices are $223. The cheapest is about $85. This is for a Summer League game, folks. Summer League in July. A courtside seat right now is going for over $3,000. Summer League basketball. Courtside seat in Vegas. Over $3,000 a pop.
Sounds like it's Christmas in July for the NBA.
What a world we live in.
They hit the lottery.
Now, when Wemby came to San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama, he made his Las Vegas summer debut in 2023. The Spurs opening up against the Charlotte Hornets. That average ticket price was $297. But they weren't getting $3,000 a seat for courtside. Can you imagine? Hey, honey, I'm gonna go down to the Thomas and Mack and watch a little summer league. Do you have to pay to get in that? Well, we want to sit courtside, and they're $3,000 a piece. Sure, go ahead. Have fun with that. Now, I will say, I will be looking on NBA TV tomorrow night. I want to see it. I want to see Cooper Flagg square off against Bronny James. Now, I won't watch the whole game, but I'll watch some of it. But I ain't paying $3,000 to go sit courtside. No way. I wouldn't pay that for a regular season game. Now, if it was a game 7 and I had the disposable income, I'd do it. I would absolutely do it. But I'm not paying $3,000 for a summer league game. I don't care who's playing. But that place will be packed. I can't wait to watch it. That's how sick I am. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow night. All right. News and weather coming up here, top of the hour. In the 5 o'clock hour, I promise you, we will hear from Stephen Vogt from the Cleveland Guardians. We will get back to our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day, and we will have On This Day in Sports History, plus a whole lot more. Stay with us. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a beautiful Wednesday here in the Carnation City, AM 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Texas, at least 119 have died in the floods, and the search continues for more than 170 others missing. A local government official tells ABC News Kerrville Area River Authority had approved a contract last month for a flood warning system to help with emergency response along the Guadalupe River.
They planned a, quote, kickoff meeting for mid-July, we're told, and approved $73,000 for a company to develop a flood warning system in Kerr County. It was not for sirens or a system to warn the public directly, but a dashboard to allow emergency managers to view real-time stream flow and rainfall data. Alex Stone, ABC News.
In New Mexico, at least 3 people died last night after a storm triggered historic flooding in a village that was scarred by last year's wildfires. President Trump posted new tariff letters on social media, warning a half dozen countries, including Algeria, Iraq, and the Philippines. Tariff rates will go up on August 1st if they don't finalize a deal. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
What's the best place to shop this summer? Macy's. It's our first ever Star Deals Week. 6 full days of store-wide savings on everything you want. From shorts and swim to fine jewelry, all up to 50% off. Plus, home updates from Hotel Collection, Green Pan, and more, up to 60% off. Not only that, shop Macy's.com for new flash deals every day that everyone will love. No membership required. So don't miss Star Deals Week and Sunday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Oh, I love this scene. Yeah, man. I bet we could pull off a street race like this.
Dude, totally.
Hey, you know this is just a movie, right?
Whoa, what?
You try this in real life, you could kill someone, or even yourself.
Life's not like the movies. Avoid a life-changing consequence and slow down, because this is one disaster you can't outrun. Speeding catches up with you. A message presented by NHTSA.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:02. This news a service of Bonfort Glass. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is investigating a fatal workplace accident that occurred at Canton Drop Forge Monday night. Around 8:30, 37-year-old Daniel Chavez of Canton was struck by an object at the industrial facility in Perry Township. The Stark County Coroner's Office says he was taken from the Southway Street Southwest address to Mercy Hospital. Chavez died a short time later. An autopsy will be performed by the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner. No injuries were reported after a fire broke out at the former Schumacher Lumber facility in Hartville. Firefighters were called to the area of Lincoln and Mill Streets southeast around 6 a.m. today after reports of smoke. The blaze was quickly extinguished. A damage estimate was not available. The fire reportedly was contained to a small area. A Canton boy has taken a plea deal, admitting to making threats directed at a Stark Library location. The 11-year-old pleaded the juvenile equivalent of guilty to charges of swatting and inducing panic Tuesday. Sentencing is scheduled October 6th in Stark County Family Court. 2 counts of swatting were dropped. Canton police said someone called the crisis line April 8th and said he had shot someone inside the library on Market Avenue North. A second call to the hotline about 30 minutes later reported a bomb in the building. Police found nothing during their search. It was the same result when a report of a man with a gun that may have been inside the facility prompted an evacuation of the library the previous day. The library system was temporarily closed after each incident. A psychiatric hospital will be home for a Canton man found not guilty of killing his dog by reason of insanity. 29-year-old Bobby Long was ordered sent to Heartland Behavioral Health Care in Massillon Monday. Stark County Common Pleas Judge Natalie Hopp made the decision after finding him not guilty of attempted aggravated arson, and cruelty to companion animals last month. At the time, she cited an evaluation of Long's mental state. Canton police said he admitted he was attempting to burn down a duplex on Troy Place Northwest when he lit a towel on fire in the bathroom. Long also said he hung his dog in the basement. The activity occurred during a period of about 2 weeks in December 2024. Alliance City Cemetery takes a blow from a thunderstorm. City officials say multiple headstones and a mausoleum were damaged when at least 5 large trees were brought down by Monday afternoon's severe weather. The cemetery entrances were temporarily closed. A contractor will be brought in to repair damage to the mausoleum. Crews were cleaning up the cemetery Tuesday. The Stark County Sheriff's Office says national recognition has been earned by the Dog Warden Division. The Best Friends Animal Society named the division as a shelter that saved more than 90% of its canines last year. Sheriff Eric Weisburn says the actual save rate was 98%. It also earned designation as a no-kill shelter. Dog Warden Division employees work to care for dogs in a facility that was designed for roughly 60. It frequently houses more. The facility has a staff of 1 sergeant and 2 deputies, as well as 2 full-time and 3 part-time canine technicians. Partners including Friends of the Stark Pound, Stark County Humane Society, Alter Clinic, and Hope Ridge RTA were recognized by Weisburn. Salem City Council agrees there are too many unanswered questions about a proposal to allow a marijuana dispensary in the city, so the issue won't appear on a ballot anytime soon. The decision was made Tuesday. The resolution was referred to the Committee of the Whole for study last month after being introduced by Councilman Ron Zellers. Law Director Brooke Zellers says state law gives council the power to put the dispensary issue before voters, but the Salem News reports no municipality has done so, with Zellers citing how recently marijuana was legalized in Ohio. A moratorium on permits for dispensaries is still on the books in Salem. The resentencing of a Youngstown woman sentenced to 8 years in prison has been reset for August 1st. The move follows the Ohio Supreme Court's rejection of an appeal from 39-year-old Ashley Crowley. She pleaded guilty in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court in February to charges including escape, theft, felonious assault, and vehicular assault. Crowley escaped from the Eastern Ohio Correctional Center in Lisbon in August 2023. She stole a car at a nearby pizza shop and ran over the foot of the vehicle's owner during the escape. The 7th District Court of Appeals later ruled Judge Scott Washam miscalculated the maximum sentence. A Mahoning County judge has issued punishment to a man who pleaded guilty to child pornography charges. Common Pleas Judge Scott Krischbaum sentenced 73-year-old Robert Casey of Austintown to 3 years in prison Tuesday. He pleaded guilty in May to 5 counts of pandering obscenity involving a minor. 10 other counts were dismissed. Casey was secretly indicted in March by a grand jury. Prosecutors say investigators executed a search warrant at Casey's home and found over 2,000 images and nearly 100 videos of child sex abuse material. He uploaded such files and traded them with others and had been doing so since the 1990s. A shooting at a home on Youngstown's west side is the focus of an ongoing investigation. Police say a man had just gotten out of the shower when he answered a knock at his door and was shot in the leg Monday night. Officers responded to the Randolph Street address around 11:30. They found a shell casing near the front door. The victim was transported to St. Elizabeth Health Center. Police say the man refused to answer their questions. A teen is in critical but stable condition after being shot near Niles. Weathersfield Township Police say they responded to the Brentwood Manor Trailer Park on Judith Street Southeast around 4 a.m. Tuesday. A 16-year-old girl who had been shot was found inside the residence. She was transported to a local hospital. Police say a 16-year-old boy was arrested. He was taken to the Trumbull County Juvenile Justice Center. An investigation continues. Former Niles Mayor Ralph Infante won't be getting out of prison anytime soon. A motion for judicial release was denied by visiting Judge Patricia Cosgrove. The retired Summit County judge issued the decision in Trumbull County Common Pleas Court. Infante is serving 10 years. In May 2018, he was found guilty of 22 charges, including tampering with records, gambling, and engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity. The motion for early release was filed in February. Cosgrove also granted a motion from the state allowing for Infante's pension funds to pay for the cost of his prosecution. A class action lawsuit argues that funding a new domed stadium for the Cleveland Browns using residents' unclaimed funds violates multiple provisions of the state and federal constitutions. Former Ohio Attorney General Mark Dan and another Democrat filed suit in Franklin County Monday. They argue that provisions of Ohio's 2-year $60 billion budget that take $1 billion from the state's unclaimed funds account to pay for the stadium violate constitutional prohibitions against taking people's private property for government use, as well as citizens' due process rights. Attorney General Dave Yost has said he believes the plan is legally sound. Ohio's Job Creation Office has awarded a $310 million grant to Anduril Industries. The California-based defense contractor is building an advanced manufacturing facility near Columbus. Jobs Ohio announced execution of the 30-year agreement today. The deal calls for Anduril to create 4,000 jobs and more than $530 million in payroll, and to make at least $910 million in capital investment within the next 10 years in order to receive the funds, then to maintain those commitments over the ensuing 2 decades. Anduril's Arsenal 1 will produce military drones and autonomous air vehicles. It is set to open in July 2026. It's 80 degrees and Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News, brought to you by Bonfort Glass. I'm Jeff Mears.
When man's best friend chases the family cat through the window screen, you need a rapid repair from Bonfort Glass. In warmer weather, accidents can happen. When a hole in your window or door screen is keeping you from enjoying the fresh air, take that torn screen to Bonfort's for a speedy, expert repair. You think of Bonfort's for glass repair, but don't forget, they can take care of just about any problem you may have with a window or door, including screens. If your screens are old, worn, corroded, or torn, bring them into Bonfort Glass and Alliance. Replace those shabby old screens with new aluminum or fiberglass ones that will wear better and last longer. Bonfort's experts give you the quality you can depend on and service that's unsurpassed. So even if your best pal chased the cat through the window screen, just take it to Bonfort's for a rapid repair. For all your glass and window needs, rely on Bonfort Glass, 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Mostly cloudy skies this afternoon with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 83. The threat of showers and thunderstorms continues into the overnight hours. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low of 65. Thursday, partly sunny skies with a lingering threat of showers and thunderstorms during the late morning and early afternoon, a high of 84. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
High fly ball, deep right field. Smith is back. He's out of room. It's out of here. And it's 2-0 Cleveland. Jose Ramirez does it again, his second consecutive game with a home run against Houston. And this one gives the Guardians an early lead. Rocchio rocks it to deep right field. Goodbye! An absolute blast by Brian Rocchio. The Guardians' second home run of the night against Hunter Brown, and they've hung more runs on Brown than any team in baseball this year.
It's a high drive. Way out into right field. It is off the bricks. This game is tied. Bailey's on the move. Bailey's on the move. And this game is over.
Driven to right field. Arise sends one deep, far, and very gone. Padres take a 1-0 lead.
Freeland, right center. Hit well. Pages back and out of here. It's Schertz for the Brewers on number 7 for Sal.
To right field, struck well. Tatis going back at the wall. He leaps, and he makes the catch in right. Fernando brings it down. Fernando, great catch by Fernando Tatis. Couple of great home runs by the Guardians last night. Brian Rocchio goes deep. Hosey goes deep. Angel Martinez goes deep to win it on a grand slam in the 10th inning. Guards win 2 in a row. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show. AM 1310 WDPN. We're streaming live all over this great world at AM 1310 WDPN.com. Phone lines are open. Don't forget 330-821-1310. You can text the show at 330-924-7088. You can follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms at AM 1310 WDPN on Facebook, on Instagram, on X. You can also give me a follow on TikTok at Sam Bourquin 16 and my Facebook page as well. How we doing today, everybody? Weather's nice. No threat of rain. Didn't have to worry about rolling the windows up today when I came into work. Productive day. We had a couple of big meetings today. We had one of our high school football meetings today. We had our department head meeting today. Got a lot of stuff done. And boom, like the workday is just about over. But we're glad you're here. Hang out with us here. We'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight here on the show. On this day in sports history coming up at 5:25, the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. I want you to think about this here for a minute. Your preferred work week schedule. Would you rather work 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. 4 days a week, or would you rather work 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. 5 days a week? Think about that. What would you rather do? 7 to 4, 4 days a week, or 8 to 3 for 5 days a week? Drop us a comment on our social media platforms, and you can also give us a call at 330-821-1310. I've been going back and forth on this. And then I forgot there's, some places go 4 hours, 10 days, 4 days, 10 hours. Some go 3 days, 12 hours. So whatever your shift of choice will take.
See, I've been rattling this around in my brain too. And I think for me, my perfect shift, like my dream shift would be 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
So
day
like
on,
one
day
off, one off, one on, one off.
Yeah, and then Monday, Sunday kind of rough, 2 days back to back, but no, I think that would be perfect.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I like the ups and downs of it.
I think I have always been anti-Sunday work guy.
Sunday's just another day, man.
But if you're working, I guess that's because I go Monday through Friday, and seasonally I go Monday through Saturday.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, Don't ask me to do any work on Sunday. Don't. Because I'm not going to. That's no. No. That's free day. That's free time. Although I have been known to go out on Sundays and try to earn a little extra. Just doing stuff. But as almost a principle, and I know people work Sundays, and some are working 7 days a week, and I get that, and I certainly appreciate it. If that's the route you have to go, that's the route you have to go. But I've always kind of been, if you're a Monday through Friday person or Monday through Saturday, and you've already kind of got your 40 in or plus or whatever, Sunday's a no-go. That's an untouchable day. Just one guy's opinion. But what would you rather do? 7 to 4, 4 days a week, or 8 to 3, 5 days a week? Hit us up and let us know here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Guardians looking for the sweep tonight. That's right. Hey, Bourquin, you been drinking? Nope. Guardians are going for the sweep tonight against the Houston Astros. 8:10 first pitch. Slade Ciccone going up against, who are we going up against tonight? I think it's, Brandon Walter is the guy we're going up against tonight. Guardians, by the way, an underdog. The total is 7.5 tonight. The Astros are minus 155. Now, they were a pretty big favorite last night, and the Guardians got them. Got that big slam in the 10th inning. Where has this offense come from, and where has it been, Cleveland Guardians baseball team? What have you guys been doing all year? All of a sudden, we got guys hitting home runs. We had 3 more last night. Rocio, Ramirez, and Martinez. Gone. Now, the semi-scary kind of thing is here. Our pitching. Our pitching has struggled a little bit. Okay? Last night we went 10-6. It's 6-6 going into the 10th. We get 4 runs. We give up 6 runs last night on 11 hits. That was a long game last night. 3 hours and 15 minutes. With the pitch clock and how they're kind of just monitoring things and trying to get a quick pace going. Anymore, a 3-hour Major League game is considered long. Last night was 3 hours and 15 minutes. So we'll see what happens tonight. A couple of games already underway today. They're playing extra innings in Milwaukee. How about this series? Dodgers and Brewers, 2-2 in the 10th. Phillies lead the Giants 4-0 in the 6th out west. Rays lead the Tigers 2-0 in the top of the 1st. Do we have any games that already went final? Yes, the White Sox beat the Blue Jays today by the score of 2-1. Everything else is under the lights. And now tomorrow, the Guardians, they'll fly out of Houston tonight and they'll get into Chicago. Got to be careful in that city. And they'll play a 4-game series against the White Sox Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, I believe Thursday, nope, okay. So Thursday is 7:40. Friday is 8:10. Saturday is 4:10. Sunday is 2:10. How about that? 4 games in 4 days. Each of them have a different starting time. So you gotta get acclimated to that. But hopefully the Guardians will be pulling into Chicago on a 3-game win streak. But to do that, they'll have to sweep the Astros tonight down in Houston. Told you about Cooper Flagg and Bronny James. They're going to play a little Summer League basketball tomorrow night in Las Vegas. NBA Summer League at the Thomas and Mack Center. Average ticket prices are going for $223. A courtside seat will run you over $3,000 for NBA Summer League. Who would have thought? Summer League didn't even used to be a thing way back. then they just said, hey, let's get together out in Las Vegas. Everybody can get together, coaches, players, front office people. We'll schedule some games at the home of the UNLV Rebels. We'll open the doors up. We'll keep it cheap and inexpensive. We'll have a little summer league tournament. We'll invite 12, 14 NBA teams. We'll have the rookies come out. And look, it's turned into big business. That's a big deal now. NBA Summer League in Vegas is a big deal. It's a moneymaker. All the games are televised now. NBA TV televises almost every single game. I never even thought about watching Summer League games in the NBA until LeBron came into the league. And then some of the other rookies like Luka, Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, I'm going to watch tomorrow night. Cooper Flag and Bronny. I'm going to watch that tomorrow. A little bit anyway. Not all of it. I never used to pay any attention to the Summer League. I would pay attention to the rosters, like who they would invite, and then try to follow them along until training camp, and then who made the opening night rosters. I would do that, but you could never get me to sit down and watch NBA Summer League games. I had no interest. But boy, times have changed, haven't they? They have changed. Also, the WNBA All-Star Game is coming up. Forgot to mention this earlier. When is this happening here? I believe it's coming up Saturday night. Team Clark against Team Collier. Yeah, WNBA All-Star Weekend is July 18th and 19th. The game is Saturday night at 8:30 on ABC. I thought this was interesting. Players who participate in the All-Star Game will receive $2,575 for playing in the contest. The game's MVP will receive a bonus of $5,150. But I thought the interesting thing was that Caitlin Clark of Indiana and Nafisha Collier of Minnesota Lynx, they got to draft their teams. You know how the NBA used to do it, Team James, Team 2, Team Luka, whatever. And the captains, thanks to the fan vote, they would pick their teams. And Caitlin Clark, the starters are Caitlin Clark, obviously. So she got her 5. And then you get to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get to pick 6 reserves. And this is from the entire WNBA. They don't do East and West. You can, pick whoever you want. She said, no, Angel Reese. Don't want you on my team. She passed. She passed on Angel Reese. Now, Reese did get picked up for Team Collier. So she will be playing in the All-Star game, but Caitlin Clark said, no thanks. Don't want you on my team. Don't want you on my team. You know what time it is when you hear that music? It's time for On This Day in Sports History on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, every Monday through Friday, right about this time. And away we go. On this day in 1968, the first All-Star baseball game to be played indoors took place at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. How about this? On this day in 1985, Herschel Walker of the New Jersey Generals was named the MVP in the United States Football League. Boy, Herschel Walker. Remember Herschel? Went to Georgia, found himself in the USFL. Then he went on to play for Minnesota, went on to play for Dallas. One of the best running backs I've ever seen. And dude didn't lift weights. You know what he did? He did push-ups and sit-ups. That's it. He was an absolute beast, Herschel Walker. Great guy, too. Let's see here. On this date in 2016, Serena Williams picked up her 22nd Grand Slam title. We'll have audio of that coming up. But right now, let's go back to 1997. I gave you a little teaser on this about an hour and a half ago. On this day in 1997, Mike Tyson, banned from boxing and fined $3 million as he bit and took a chunk out of the ear of Evander Holyfield.
Oh, and some nasty stuff in there. There needs to be a bite almost. Holyfield is very unhappy. Look at this. It looked as if Tyson bared his teeth at one stage in the exchange.
Yes,
Hit
I
his
think
ear.
he bit his ear. That's what Holyfield was in a lot of pain from that. You see the blood on the ear. That was definitely a bite.
You see the blood on the ear. That was definitely a bite. He just leaned in, chomped his ear off. Iron Mike Tyson back in 1997. Man, it all went downhill from there. Of course, he ended up in The Hangover, so there's that. In the year 2000, Pete Sampras of the United States, he set a record. He won the men's singles tennis championship at Wimbledon, his 13th Grand Slam title.
Watch their son play in this very special Wimbledon final. Pat Rafter would never win a Wimbledon singles title. A hugely popular runner-up, he did come close again, losing the 2001 final to the Croatian Goran Ivanisevic 9-7.
Pete Sampras, the winner of the 2000 Wimbledon, that was his 13th Grand Slam title. Now, this was a bizarre moment back in 2002. Remember the Major League Baseball All-Star Game? It went 11 innings, and it ended in a tie, 7-7. Bud Selig, who was the commissioner, called the game after both team managers informed him they had run out of players. This is how it sounded.
Garcia with a 2-2 pitch to Santiago. Game over. And this game will end in a 7-7 tie. We'll take a break and come back with much, much more. This game ends in a 7-7 tie after 11. More from Milwaukee in a moment.
That was Fox, and that was Joe Buck. Remember that? 11 innings, All-Star game. One of the more entertaining All-Star games we've seen in years. 11-11. The managers ran out of players, and Bud Selig said, okay, that's it. Everybody go home. It's a tie. 7-7. Thanks for coming. How about that? On this day in sports history here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. News and weather is next. Stay with us.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:30. 173 people are still missing and at least 110 people have died after devastating flooding that occurred over the holiday weekend in Texas. It's leading to more questions about the warning systems that were in place and whether officials were even vigilant about warning people. This area of Texas along the Guadalupe River is known as Flash Flood Alley, and the summer camp where dozens of girls and staff died, Camp Mystic, was right in the flood zone. This as stories of survival are coming out, like one from Lindsay Roberson, who says she was holding onto a tree as the water and various pieces of debris came right for her.
It wasn't a matter of how could you swim and where you wanted to go. It was a matter of the current and the rush. It was just terrifying. Like there were roofs, there were cars, there were boats, trailers, all these things just rushing down the river.
Officials say monsoon rains in southern New Mexico triggered flash flooding that killed 3 people and was so intense an entire home was swept downstream in a mountain village that is a popular summer retreat. The village of Ruidoso said in a statement that a man, a 4-year-old girl, and 7-year-old boy were swept away Tuesday by floodwaters. 3 people earlier had been reported missing. It wasn't immediately clear early today whether those were the same 3 who died. The water in Ruidoso had receded by Tuesday night, and search and rescue and swift water rescue teams were searching the town for the missing people. Another large aerial attack overnight by Russia on Ukraine. ABC's Patrick Revel has the latest from the foreign desk.
Ukrainian authorities say this is a record-breaking attack by Russia, launching well over 700 drones and missiles across Ukraine. This is actually the third time in the last 10 days that we've seen Russia launch a record-breaking attack. This time, President Zelensky has said that Ukraine was able to bring down the vast majority of the drones.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has met with Pope Leo XIV and thanked him for the Vatican's efforts to help return children taken by Russia during the war. Both he and Leo suggested the Vatican could host peace talks to end the war. Longtime Red Bull team principal Christian Horner has been fired after a 20-year stint that included 8 Formula One drivers' titles. Red Bull did not give a reason for the decision in a statement today, but thanked Horner for his work and said he will forever remain an important part of our team history. Laurent McKees of sister team Racing Bulls will replace Horner. It's 80 degrees and Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the remainder of your Wednesday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high around 83. Keep the umbrella handy overnight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low near 65. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, yet another chance for showers and thunderstorms during the midday hours, a high of 84. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Looking for something fun to do this summer? Come out to Copeland Oaks for our annual Classic Cruisin' on Sunday, July 27th. Gates open at 10 a.m. with registration until 1. Enjoy free food, music, and lots of fun. Join us Sunday afternoon, July 27th for the Cruisin' on the Copeland Oaks Retirement Campus, just off Route 62 near Sebring. $5 registration for classic vehicles. All proceeds benefiting a local charity. Dash plaques and trophies will be awarded for classic cars. Copeland Oaks, family fun.
She lives and she goes and she lives for me. Says she lives for me, ovation. Who want motivation? She comes round and she goes down to me. And I make it.
All right, I'm checking my phone here every second. I'm down to 16% on the battery. I'm wondering if she's going to make it till 6 o'clock. I bet you I get down to like 4%. And then the orange light's going to come on and it's going to fade. You know what I mean? It's going to be harder to read. And I got my charger. Shame on me. I usually, when I come in, I like to have both my phones at 100% when I start the workday because I use them both. And, there it is right now. Battery power, 15%. Charge your phone if there is a charger near. Thanks for letting me know. I made the mistake today and got caught up in doing a bunch of different things and didn't have time to charge it. And now it's, I'd be surprised if it hangs in there until 6 o'clock, but I'm watching. Maybe the next commercial break I take, I'm going to go charge my phone for about 3 minutes, try to get a couple of percentage bars on there, and we can coast it. We can coast it until 6 o'clock. 330-821-1310 is our number, 330-821-1310. I got a couple of messages here I want to pass along. This is from Doug. I don't quite understand what this means. He says, Sam, you're doing the Lord's work, my friend. Taking the 70s TOSU stats in stride. Thank you, but I don't know what that is, but I appreciate it.
Sounds like it's the Lord's work,
yeah,
Sam.
Hey, if somebody says I'm doing the Lord's work, then I've won. I've won the day. Nobody has ever accused me of doing the Lord's work. But, man, I'll take it. I feel like a big ray of light just popped up from behind me. Anybody see that on the YouTube page? Was there a thing of light that just came out from behind me?
You think it's the sarcasm's not translating very well through text message?
It could be. It could be. I have never been told I'm doing the Lord's work. But
no, I would definitely think somebody's lying to me if they told me that. Or messing with me, at least.
Maybe they just hit a button.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But, Doug, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're hanging along with us here and taking part in the show. Poll question today, would you rather work 4 days a week, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., or Or would you rather work 5 days a week and work 8 a.m. until 3 p.m.? What would you rather do there? You want to work 4 days a week, 7 to 4, or 5 days a week, 8 until 3? Rainsburg. For the second time this week, we might have to hit that button.
Oh, yeah?
We might have to hit that button. We have some breaking news. Here we go. Courtesy of the Cleveland Guardians. Elected starting third baseman Jose Ramirez will not partake in the 2025 All-Star Game activities in Atlanta. He is going to focus on recovery and preparation for the second half of the season. Again, All-Star Jose Ramirez of the Guardians will not partake in the 2025 All-Star activities in Atlanta. He will focus on recovery and preparation for the second half of the season. Little breaking news there on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Interesting, but I certainly get it. He is literally carrying the other 24 guys on that roster. So I get it. It's a great honor. He's been there before. He's done that before. I think Jose was actually in the home run derby before. He does all the stuff. He shows up for the photos. He does the interviews. But he is not going to partake this year in Atlanta, and he's going to rest up and get prepared for the second half of the season. I get it. That may preclude me from watching more of the All-Star game than I had planned, because if I knew Jose was going to be in there, Quan got selected. And look, I know the All-Star games as a whole from all the sports are kind of meh. Baseball is still pretty good. Except for the year when it ended in a 7-7 tie, which we just told you about on this day in sports history. I mean, the NFL thing is a joke. That is a joke. It needs to go away and never come back again. And I guess they've kind of done away with the game, but now it's like this all-star skills challenge and flag football and guys running around in the sand. No thanks. The NBA All-Star game has hit an all-time low. An all-time low. But baseball still has a little juice to it. But knowing that Jose's not going to be in it now, I might not watch as much as I normally would. I used to be glued to the All-Star game growing up. That was must-see TV. We didn't have interleague play then. We get to see all the teams, all the uniforms. Remember when the Pirates come out and they would wear gold jerseys and gold pants? The Giants would wear orange jerseys. A lot of the away teams back then had those baby blue, powder blue road uniforms. The home teams would wear the white. And he had teams like the Pirates, the Giants, the Padres, who just took things a little too far with their uniforms, which was, as a kid, I loved that stuff. Ooh, shiny object. Hey, let me go. I love that stuff. The All-Star game was must-see TV. Now, I'll tune in, but I won't sit there and watch it like inning after inning after inning. I just won't. But if I hear it, hey, well, it's 2-2 in the 10th, I'll turn it on. Usually the All-Star games have been very low scoring too, because the pitching has been so dominant. I mean, I rattled off the All-Stars a couple of days ago, the American and National League, and we went over the pitching staffs on both teams. And I'm like, how is anybody even going to get a hit? And there's guys on these teams that are hitting way over 300, hitting 20, 30, 40 home runs, knocking in 55, 65, 70 RBI, guys that can run with the wind. But what's the old adage? Good pitching always beats good hitting. Always beats good hitting. So we'll see. But Jose Ramirez will not partake in All-Star game activities this year down in Atlanta. All right. been promising this for a little while. Stephen Vogt met the media last night after the game in Houston. Guardians beat the Astros in 10-6. And the media caught up with Voter after the game down in the bowels of the stadium. And here's how it sounded.
What does it say about your hitting group that after the struggles they went through for about a month, you guys just put the most runs up on Brown and Hader all season long?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this for 5 weeks, that I like where our group is. We weren't getting results. And obviously we still have a lot of work to do to get better, but this is why you have to stick to what you're doing. This is why you can't waver. This is why you can't. And it has only been 2 games. I recognize that. But this group is capable of putting up great offensive numbers, and they've done it now 2 nights in a row, and we feel really good about who we have.
What did you feel like you guys did against Brown? Worked so well.
We made him get into the zone. We talked about it pregame. If we can avoid chasing him around the zone, he's going to have to come in. I think we had at least 3 or 4 hits and 3-1 counts where he had to come after us, and we got some big swings. I mean, Hosey hits a changeup in the first inning, Schnee with the big hit on the curveball, and Rocchio obviously hits a homer. So I mean, they made him work. Our guys made him work, and we got some mistakes and didn't miss him.
What did you think of Joey?
I thought Joey was great. Obviously wish he could have gone longer, just the pitch count. But Joey was outstanding. The curveball was sharp. The changeup was very good. Sliders looking really good, and he threw some really nice fastballs. So the job Joey's done these last 2 times is really encouraging.
What do you say about Angel in that situation? Just be as poised as he was.
Yeah. I look at that. Angel's been great for us, particularly right-handed. He has been phenomenal right-handed, and he's working really hard left-handed as well. And Angel can play. I mean, he played switch positions 3 times today during the game. I mean, we had everybody playing everywhere tonight. And but what Angel's done, he's a big leaguer. He knows he belongs here, and he's really showing it.
You talked pregame about the approach against Brown and not chasing. Do you feel like you followed that pretty well?
Yeah, I thought our guys followed a plan tonight as well as we have all year.
A couple of uncontested steals by Jose, one of which sets up a 2-run single by Schneemann that turns out to be big. Kind of exploiting the Astros' tendency not to throw runners out?
Yeah, I mean, we do our homework, obviously, but that's Hosey. Hosey knows the game. Hosey knows he got a great jump, and when you get a great jump, they're not going to make a throw first and third. So Hosey knows the game. Our coaches do a great job preparing, and when things are going right, it feels good.
I know you noted it was just 2 games, but do you feel like a couple wins like this against a good team could help your team, especially, where y'all were at when you came in here?
Absolutely. I mean, every team goes on good and bad runs, and we had a 10-game losing streak. That's what's true. What also is true is we're a very good team, and there's a lot of season left.
What do you think of Junis coming in?
Yeah, that was huge. Junis has done everything we've asked of him and more. He's such a versatile pitcher, whether it's a couple innings, whether it's coming in a huge leverage spot, but he just knows how to pitch, and he just wants to pitch. I think that's what I love most about this team, Hoynesy. We talk about it all the time. These guys just want to pitch, and Junie was outstanding.
Yeah, it's 3 days in a row.
Yeah, these guys are posting. They know it's that time of year where, we got to go for it. When we got a chance, we got to go for it. Gaddy's been phenomenal. Like we talk about all the time, the expectations these bullpen guys have created for themselves makes it unfair. Whenever they give up runs, we want to say what's wrong with them. But taking the ball 3 days in a row, and the job that Kay did, throughout the board, Festa did a great job. It's a tough situation coming into 2 on, nobody out.
With, the way, they intentionally walked Jose twice, especially in the 10th, what's that do to Santana?
I mean, it gives him an opportunity, and that was a great at-bat. He could have easily gotten over-aggressive there versus Hader, but he passed the baton. And, Los has been in this league a long time, and he's such a great hitter. He takes what the pitchers give him. He's been phenomenal. And really, I got to shout out Jonathan Rodriguez. I know he struck out, but that's a 6-7 pitch at bat. Makes Hader pitch count get up there. Maybe that Angel gets a mistake. Just because he strike out doesn't mean it wasn't a quality at bat. So it was a really good at bat off the bench by J-Rod too.
What was Kate? The intentional balk?
Yeah, I called that.
So he stepped off 3 times and he just didn't want to steal his pitches?
Yep. They're very good at relaying from second base.
Do you think that's what happened to him against the Tigers?
It happens to all of our pitchers from time to time, so I just didn't want to take any chances there.
There you go, Stephen Vogt, courtesy of CLE Guardians TV. He met with the media last night in Houston after the Guards beat the Astros in 10 by the score of 10-6. With the win, they're 42-48 now. Astros at 55-37. But let's take a little look-see at the wild card situation. Because all of a sudden, we're feeling a little better today than we were yesterday, right? Okay, so here's the deal. In the East, the Toronto Blue Jays lead the division 54-38. Detroit leads the Central 59-34. Astros lead the West 55-37. Now the wild card. Yankees in 50-41. Tampa Bay 49-43. Seattle 48-43. Now it's just a big old jumbled mess. Boston 48-45. One game out of the wild card. Texas 45-47, 3.5 back. Kansas City 45-48, 4 out. Angels 44-47, 4 out. Twins 44-47, 4 out. Then the Guardians. So they're down there. 42-48, 5.5 games out of the last wild card spot. And then Baltimore and the Athletics, but forget about them. So I can sit here and tell you, hey, they're only 5.5 games out, but you're behind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. You got to leapfrog 5. So we should probably just don't even pay attention to what the Tigers are doing anymore. But keep your eyes on, especially in our division, Kansas City and Minnesota. And then keep your eyes on Boston, Texas, and the Angels. Is it too early to start scoreboard watching? I don't know. When you're 5.5 out behind 5 teams, I think it's probably time to start watching that kind of stuff, especially with the trade deadline coming up here at the end of the month on July 31st. So, no, I don't think it's too early to start watching and looking at the scoreboard. So every night when you're watching the Guards or you're listening or you're doing what you're doing and you see a scoreboard update pop in or you see the crawl on the bottom of your screen, just see what the Twins, Angels, Royals, Rangers, and Red Sox are up to. Those are the teams that you want to start maybe going on a little bit of a losing streak. And we gave you these numbers last week here on the show that those teams right now, none of them scream, we're going to go on a long streak one way or the other. Now, the Red Sox are playing good ball. They're 8-2 in their last 10. But Texas, 5-5. Kansas City, 6-4. Angels, 4-6. Twins, 5-5. They're all kind of hovering around 500. And then there's Cleveland at 2-8. But they've won 2 in a row. They're looking for the sweep tonight in Houston. Not over yet. It's unlikely, but there's still time. All-Star break is coming up after the 4-game sit in Chicago. All-Star break is usually a time where you say, hey, we're going to go for it or we're going to sell. Usually you know then because you know that deadline is lurking on the 31st where you do or don't do something. That's when you really got to start. That's that window right there where a lot of teams, they make their decision of we're going to raise the flag or we're going to go get somebody. That's kind of where we're at with the Guardians right now. So it's not too early, I don't think, in my estimation, to start watching other teams and how they're doing above us in the wild card watch. Still a long way to go. What are we at? 40. We're at 90 games now. We're 90 in out of 162. So there's time, but, the clock's ticking a little bit. We'll see if they can put it together tonight for the 3rd night in a row and get a sweep. Oh, that would be huge. What a nice plane ride that would be. From Houston to Chicago, if you can sweep the Astros, full well knowing you're going to be playing a team the next 4 nights after you leave Texas, you should handle. You should handle Chicago. I'm going to accept nothing less than winning 3 out of 4. And then that gets you to about 46 wins. Now you can start thinking a little bit. Now you can start thinking about things a little bit. All right, we'll take a break. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. The text line, always open at 330-924-7088. Don't forget to check us out on all of our social media platforms, AM 1310 WDPN, on X or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok at Sam Bourquin 16, and you can also give me a follow on X. Same deal, at Sam Bourquin 16, and also on the gram. We'll take a break. We'll come back for our final segment here on the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
You got me running, baby. You give me something way beyond revenue. You put the magic in me.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Thanks to all of you for participating today. Don't forget, check us out on all of our social media platforms, 1310 WDPN on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Love to interact with you there. People still chiming in on our question. Would you rather work 7 to 4, 4 days a week, or 8 to 3, 5 days a week? Wayne says 4 days if I still had to work. Krista says 7 to 4, 4 days a week. Thank you very much. Diana says, give me 8 to 3, 5 days a week. Jim says, I'd rather work 6 to 2:30, but only work 2 days a week. Yeah, that would be nice. Craig, how you doing, Craig? Says, so you work 8 to 3. That means only 35 hours a week. Would you still get paid for 40? Just asking. Sure, why not? Bill says 8 to 3 is only 7 hours or 35 hours a week with a paid lunch. Hey, I didn't come up with the original. That's just what was there. Brian says 7 to 4, hands down. Jennifer says 7 to 4, Sam. No doubt, 4 days a week. Love the show. Yeah. I just put it out there. But how sweet would it be, though, to work 35 hours a week and get paid for 40, right? That's when you're living right there. Every day's happy hour then, right? A couple of things as we wrap things up. Oklahoma City, of course, won their first NBA title. Now they're going to focus on running it back. And boy, they put the money out for Chet Holmgren, a 5-year max contract extension, $250 million. 5 years, $250. Life is good. And I know that Jeff Mears mentioned this maybe in a couple of newscasts today. Red Bull Racing, they fired Christian Horner today after being in charge for over 2 decades. The Formula One team announced it removed its longtime principal and CEO on Wednesday amid a turbulent season that could eventually and ultimately lead to the departure of Max Verstappen. Whoa. Horner had been the longest-serving team principal in F1. That's a big story right there for you racing fans. All right, Phil is warming up in the background. It is time to go for today. Thanks to my outstanding producer, Ryan Rainsberg. Thanks to all of you for listening and calling and texting and emailing and commenting on our social media platforms. And don't forget, we'll all come back here again tomorrow and do it all over again at 3 p.m. Hope you enjoyed the show today. We're looking forward to tomorrow. Sam Amico from Hoops Wire. We've got our 3-question Thursday quiz, and we'll see if the Guardians were able to sweep the Stros deep in the heart of Texas. Don't forget, go Guards, go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Seems so long I've been